Someone this morning reached out to me on Twitter showing me that there's a lot of drama going on between the HD mod team and Community Games, and a bunch of modders out there dogpiling Community Games and expressing their grievances with them. If you don't know who Community Game is, they are a Friday Night Funkin' Let's Play channel with close to 2 million subscribers. They show off almost every single mod they can from the Friday Night Funkin' community. The person having conflict with the Community Games channel on Twitter is none other than Kolsan, one of the creators of the HD mod. Kolsan is very well known in the community for being extremely aggressive on Twitter, pushing their audience and their fan base to go harass and attack anybody they have conflict with. Apparently, the main issue people are having with Community Game is that Community Game doesn't credit people in their description good enough. Now, I'll try to show this off, but when I look at Community Game's channel and check out their description on just some random videos, their description is chock full of credits and links and anything that they can add to let people know what mod they are playing and who the creators are. Now let's go over some of the tweets that were linked to me. The first one here comes from Kolsan and it says this: "Thanks for making a ton of money off of my mod, donating less than 1% of it to the team and I, and then blocking me." Kolsan goes on to say this: "Tired of pretending I like this cunt. You're projected to make like 10 million this year, and all you can muster up is donate to the people who carry your channel is $40 to $300. Y'all can shit on me all you want. This disdain been brewing for a minute." Kolsan continues with, "Community Game is taking our hard-earned money and running with it. Laugh my ass off. And I don't mean our as an HD team. I mean as in every single mod he's profited off of his ugly, dusty-ass channel. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck Community Game. Rotten hell, you stupid leech." Someone replied to Kolsan saying this: "I still don't see the issue here. The guy literally carved YouTube's algorithm to make a living, and you're shitting on him for playing our/your mods, which I completely understand, but what did you expect would happen? The more we make, the more fuel we provide Community Game." Kolsan also says, "Glad you could see why we hate Community Game so much now, and fuck YouTube for allowing this shit to happen. Blatantly stealing content and letting Community Game profit for doing so. Maybe one day YouTube will be a competent platform again. Good night." Someone replied to Kolsan saying this: "I just found this without context, ... It would have been way better if this was the main starting point. As a fan game creator, you don't demand or expect money for your work because it's not your IP in the first place. Not crediting is a different story." If you don't know what IP means right there, it means intellectual property. Kolsan replied to that with this: "Not crediting and not giving us money isn't the main point at all. The main point is that after making money off of our mods that took us a shit ton of effort, he blocks us after a tiny bit of criticism towards himself." I'm just going to insert something here. While yes, there was criticism, Kolsan also said things like this: "I'm sick of this shit. Fuck Community Games. Rotten hell, you stupid leech." I'll just also say this, that Kolsan has about 32,000 people following him on Twitter, and Community Games on Twitter has about 1,000 followers. So I'm sure you can understand that Kolsan has a lot more people that are probably going after and targeting Community Games with harassment now that he's mentioned that he doesn't like Community Games. Kolsan continues the thread saying this: "I don't care if he didn't donate. Hell, he stopped donating the itty-bitty amounts of money he donated already after the first time he covered HD, and I didn't care. But blocking me after me and my community friends carry your channel? Disrespectful. And now I find out it's over a fucking like? As if everything I like is something I endorse? Yeah, nah, he's gotta go. Crediting and donating very tiny amounts of money, just add to it." I would say that a like does imply that you endorse or support something. This story here is reminding me way too much of my issues with Gegcoin and Kolsan. When Kolsan was making harassment tweets and belittling me on Twitter and having his fans dogpile me, Gegcoin came in and started liking those tweets as well. Liking something does mean that you endorse it and does mean that you support it. If you like a YouTube video, you are supporting that channel. If you like a tweet, you are supporting that statement. I don't understand how people can be confused about what liking something actually indicates to other people. Someone had this to say to Kolsan. Why are y'all FNF modder fucks raging about community game? Aren't they like the only reason you became famous to begin with? If it wasn't for their views, no one would know you. They're advertising your shit for you, dude. Come on. They've done nothing wrong. Kolsan replied with this. Civil uploaded the first playthrough of HD and it got 1 million views in less than a day. We probably still could have been getting millions of views on the videos if someone didn't destroy the algorithm for FNF content creators. Laugh my ass off. I'll insert something here. Blaming some content creator that gets a lot of views for how the algorithm treats other content creators is just extremely naive and uninformed, to say the least. Kolsan wraps things up with this. Oh yeah, I just want to be clear, I don't care about not getting paid from working on HD, that is, directly. I do care about the fact that many of my friends can't profit from their own mod showcases anymore, specifically because of CommunityGame. And before you say it, yes, I know what CommunityGame is doing isn't illegal, and I can't do anything but protest it. But if that's the only thing that I got, then it's what I'ma do, and you can't stop me. TLDR, this isn't specifically about money, it's about the end of FNF content creators being able to make money off of their mod showcases because of the big green and red man having a chokehold on the algorithm. Now I just want to say this before I go any further. Kolsan does this all the time where he acts extremely toxic, targets somebody on Twitter, sends his fan base to harass them, and then acts like he's defending the community. He has this guise that he puts on where he's being this hero for the community when he's just being extremely toxic and venomous. Kolsan isn't the only modder making statements against community games. You have BBpanzu making some kind of hateful art against community games, basically, you know, drawing them as the final boss of the Friday Night Funkin modding team. You have modders like Rosebud adding to this as well. I think this is why a lot of people don't really have a ton of respect for the modding community in Friday Night Funkin', is because it'll turn into a dog pile real quickly and it'll get very immature where people are just harassing people they don't like just to add fuel to the fire, because these are some very venomous and toxic individuals. I've seen BBpanzu do this before where they draw sort of hateful or inciting art against another creator that they have an issue with and encourage others to add to that art. When you break this down, it's just literally harassment and it's just dogpiling and adding fuel to the fire. I've seen BBpanzu do this with me, and where he created the background of my thumbnail and asked people to add their own artwork to it to encourage the harassment against me. None of these people are good people, if you ask me. A lot of these people show their true colors when they get into these heated arguments on Twitter. You could really define these people as being sociopaths because they truly have a disregard for other people and are very entertained by harassing anyone they have an issue with online. I read this statement earlier from Kolsan, but I'll read it again because this is what CommunityGames responded to. Kolsan said this: "Not crediting and not giving us money isn't the main point at all. The main point is that he, after making money off of our mods that took us a shit ton of effort, blocks us after a tiny bit of criticism towards himself." CommunityGames had this to say: "I just got tired of Civil and Kolsan talking crap about me, so I finally blocked them, even after I wanted to help them. If you're an active follower of Kolsan and Civil, then you already know the deal. Why continue to talk bad about me and like every I hate CommunityGame post?" CommunityGame here points out what the problem is with liking tweets, or quote unquote, I just liked a tweet. If you're liking something that's a hate post about someone, it's endorsing that hate and endorsing that harassment and stating that you support those statements. CommunityGame finishes his statement saying this: "Look how many FNF channels re-uploading your content a billion times. Are they trying to work things out with you? Besides your two friends, Geg and Flippy, who else is helping? I don't get your hate towards me, so I got tired of this." It's really sad to see people like Kolsan and BBpanzu not changing whatsoever. They continue the same type of behavior, and they think it's fine to target and harass people they have issues with. CommunityGames in this last tweet mentions that Kolsan's friends are Flippy and Geg. And this is my issue with the Gegcoin fans out there. They don't understand that Gegcoin is in Kolsan's pocket. And if Kolsan is targeting, harassing, or belittling somebody on Twitter, Gegcoin is going to be in support of that. I've made statements like this before where Gegcoin has supported harassment, has encouraged harassment, and has retweeted and liked any kind of hate comments against me specifically, and people didn't understand that he was doing this or thought that he accidentally liked a tweet. Gegcoin admitted to me that he didn't accidentally like anything, so Gegcoin isn't the good person. He's the exact type of people that Civil, BBpanzu, and Kolsan are. They're all these hate mongerers that are into spreading hate against people that they have issues with. Gegcoin's just less vocal about it because he's able to make Let's Plays on YouTube, and Twitter isn't his entire life. And to prove my point about Gegcoin, you can go to their Twitter page and they're already retweeting hate stuff against community games. I don't understand how people are so blind to see what's actually happening with the FNF community, with people like Kolsan, Gegcoin, BBpanzu, and just the extreme toxicity in the community. Of course, I'll probably get blamed for the toxicity and exposing it again because people need a scapegoat because they don't want to pin the actual blame on the people issuing the harassment. One last kind of statement I want to make is that I want to say I'm sorry to some of the people that have an issue with me about the fact that I changed my mind about talking about the cancer patient story with Kolsan. At the time, I didn't know really who Kolsan was, and I didn't really know the issues revolving around him. So when Kolsan painted the picture as a mistake, I told him, hey, I understand what it's like to make mistakes. I don't have to talk about this story. I promise, I won't talk about it. As I observed Kolsan and saw his behavior be increasingly bad over time as I watched him, I decided that he was somebody that really needed to be talked about. And I hope people can see that he is exhibiting that behavior again. So I want to make an apology saying that I am sorry for saying that I wouldn't talk about Kolsan and the cancer patient thing, because if I had known who he was, I would have never said that I wouldn't have talked about it. I would have just talked about it right away. If I had known how toxic and awful he is to people online and how much of a sociopath he is and how much he disregards other people and how much he endorses harassment and encourages his fan base to go attack people, I would have talked about it right away. So I want to say that I am sorry for saying that I wouldn't talk about it because I had no idea who he was or the type of behavior he was capable of. I also want to say this. I think it's okay to change your mind about a statement that you've made. If you've told somebody that you're not going to talk about something and you want to give them a chance to show that they can change, and then they show that they aren't changing whatsoever and that they're continuing their toxic behavior, I think it's okay to change your mind and decide that you want to talk about that story. Let me know what your thoughts are about the community games versus the entire Friday Night Funkin' modding community. A lot of people are taking Kolsan's side. Not a ton of people, but a lot of people are. And I think it's just kind of terrible, but that this is the circle of behavior is when Kolsan decides to target somebody. A lot of these same people like Gegcoin, BBpanzu, and other modders will jump on the bandwagon and start issuing harassment as well. I'm done talking about this. We'll see y'all next time. Everybody take care. Later.